Hello, hello, and welcome to British Guy Reviews American Beer. Now, I did think long and hard about what would be the first beer that I would review and upload, because there's so many great, good, bad American beers to go at. But I did settle on possibly the most well-known internationally of the American beers, and one that when I was growing up in the UK and starting to drink beer, if you'd have asked me to name an American beer, it would have been Budweiser. Budweiser, the king of beers. And I will get to that in a little while. So what I really want to understand with this review is, why is it that Budweiser is so popular? How has it stood the test of time and is still recognized as, again, one of the most iconic beer brands in the world? Is it just because the company's been around since the 1800s, survived Prohibition, and then grew to be the biggest brewery in the United States in the 1950s, and was there first, and as a result is still around? Or is there something a bit more? Is it the longevity? Is it the marketing that's being put behind it? Or is it actually about something that's inside the can, which make people continue to buy and drink Budweiser? So I said I'd talk about the slogan "King of Beers," and luckily, I think that is a slogan which isn't supposed to be taken too seriously. So Budweiser was, or literally means, of Budweis, and Budweis was a town, or is a town, in the Czech Republic where they also brew Pilsner Lager. And when Mr. I think it's Adolfo Busch first brewed his beer and based it on those Czech styles, he took that slogan because those styles were known to be the beers of kings, and he turned it around and he called his beer the King of Beers. And I think there was a little bit of a joking element to that. So I'm not going to hold him to that slogan as I review the beer. So let's get it out and see what we get. Now, I have a can of Budweiser as opposed to a bottle of Budweiser. And the reason for that, well, two reasons for that. The bottles come with the twist-off caps, and that is immediately going to give me a negative impression of the beer, so I don't like the twisties. And secondly, because I only wanted to buy one, and I could only buy single cans, and I couldn't buy single bottles. So instead of having a small bottle, I've got this crazy big can of Budweiser. So as you can see, it's poured there, and it has formed a huge rocky white head. It's a super clear beer. It's a light straw color, lots of carbonation. It's a fizzy beer. Yeah, again, it's a kind of three-finger white rocky head. Let that settle down a bit, if it will. So on the can, it reads, "This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand produced by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste and smoothness and a drinkability you will find in no other beer at any price." Well, okay. I'll be the judge of that. And it says, brewed by our own original process from the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. Brewed and canned in the USA. So interesting that it's an adjuncted lager with rice. So the aroma really is kind of that. You read rice on the can and you smell rice in the beer, but most of the aroma is that kind of sweet, grainy, malted barley, and the rice. There's maybe a little bit of kind of lemon and earthiness from the hops, but the hops are pretty muted. Um, but yeah, it's kind of smells like just like a little bit of a sweet lager. Right, let's see what we get. Cheers. It's pretty sweet. It is grainy sweet, and I mean sweet in the candy sense, and not the sweet as in sweet sense. Um, it's crisp, fizzy. Um, the carbonation's medium to high, I would say. Um, the again that hop flavor is muted at best. You don't really get a huge amount of hop flavor. What I'm really noticing is that it's kind of filling. It's that carbonate. It's heavily carbonated, and I'm already starting to feel like if I drink the whole can here, I'm going to feel pretty bloated. But yeah, sweetness is there. You taste the rice. It's muted in its hops. It's pretty clean. It's it's not a super flavorful beer. Um, Not disagreeable, but if I want to drink a pilsner or a lager, I'm going to want to pick up something which has a little bit more flavor than this, and something which I think the the overall impression I get of this, in that it's muted, is that it's almost like the ingredients used are not super fresh. And when I drink of a when I drink when I think of a lager and a nice pilsner, I think of crisp, refreshing, fresh, and all of those things. And this, with it's a little bit muted, it's a little bit dominated by that kind of rice um, and grain. It's a fairly nondescript beer. So all all of the reasons probably why it's fairly popular, because it's not disagreeable. It's sweet. It's suited to, dare I say it, the American palate, and and it's pretty light, nice and cold. It's fairly refreshing. So yeah, I can imagine that a lot of people enjoy it for exactly that reason. For me, just lacking in any kind of oomph. It's again, it's just a little bit nondescript, muted on the hops, very little bitterness there. I hardly detect any bitterness at all. I'd be interested to know what the IBUs are. Um, and you know, yes, I can drink one. I wouldn't be reaching for another bottle, and I'm pretty glad I just got the one. So um, I'll give it a rating. Um, I rate my beers out of 5 because you know then when I post the videos, I can put my rating alongside the rating that the beers have on the app Untapped, and that means you're not just getting it from me. You've also got kind of the Untapped community giving you a beer rating as well. So it's kind of interesting to compare what I think of beers versus what the kind of wider community thinks. I don't look at Untapped first, so I have no idea what the rating for Budweiser is. I'm not guessing it's super high because of the kind of reputation that Budweiser has. But I will give Budweiser, the king of beers, a 2.7 out of 5. It's pretty nondescript, a little bit tasteless, not super disagreeable. I understand why it's popular. If it was starting its life as a beer now, maybe it wouldn't have the kind of acclaim that it does have. I would imagine that it's the kind of longevity in the branding, which is why it continues to be such a popular beer. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any comments about Budweiser, let me know. Is it your drink of choice? Do you absolutely hate it? What's your opinion? Always good to know. And again, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.